The island of Mykonos is said to be named after a hero of Greek mythology named Mykonos, who was the grandson of Apollo. In Greek mythology, the island of Mykonos was the location of one of the major battles between the forces of Zeus and the Gigantes. The Gigantes was a race of giants who rose up against the Olympians in an attempt to end their reign. The Olympians, of course, was the group of 12 gods who, according to Greek mythology, ruled the earth and took their name from Mount Olympus, the place where they lived. There were 24 Gigantes, and although they posed a grave threat to the Olympians, a prophecy foretold that they could be defeated with the help of the hero Hercules. The giants began their attack on the Olympians by stacking mountains up to reach Mount Olympus. Hercules then apparently killed one of the giants, but the giant immediately stood back up. Athena, one of the Olympians and the goddess of wisdom, realized that the giant had been revived because he was on native ground, so she ordered Hercules to take the giants to a foreign land. Hercules followed her advice, and with the help of Poseidon, was able to slay many of the giants here on the island of Mykonos. According to mythology, the giants that were killed by Hercules are buried here on the island under huge blocks of granite. Another version of the myth says that the large rocks that are scattered throughout the island are actually the petrified corpses of the slain giants. To continue our walk, go back to the appropriate number on your player now. Archaeologists tell us that the island of Mykonos was the home of Neolithic tribes as far back as the year 3000 BC. But little is known about the activity on the island until the Ionian Greeks began to settle here around the year 1000 BC. In Greek mythology, the sacred islands of Delos, located just off the coast of Mykonos, was birthplace of the gods Apollo and Artemis. Around the year 900 BC, Delos became a sacred religious center, and various groups began to compete by building elaborate temples and shrines on the island, dedicated not only to Apollo, but to other gods as well. As the population and economy on Delos flourished, so did the population and economy of Mykonos. Located only about 2 kilometers or just over a mile away, Mykonos became important as an ancient tourist location for worshippers traveling to visit the holy sites on Delos. Delos is a very small island, but in the 4th century BC, it was estimated to have had a population of 25,000 people. Since room on Delos was scarce, and because the island was barren and had no natural resources of its own, Mykonos developed by supplying products and building materials while benefiting from the booming economy. Its location among some very active trading routes also made Mykonos an important trading spot for the entire region. So when the commerce of Delos began to decline in the 1st century BC, so too did the economy of Mykonos. In fact, Mykonos is seldom mentioned in writings from the Roman and Byzantine periods of Greek history. When Constantinople fell to the Crusaders in 1204, Mykonos was given to the Venetians, who controlled the island on and off for the next 300 years until the beginning of the 16th century. In 1537, Ottoman forces under the Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent destroyed the town of Mykonos, and many residents that were unable to escape were sold as slaves. By the middle of the 18th century, the people of Mykonos were once again involved in shipping, and the island had become a haven for pirates. Under Turkish rule, many Greek seamen rebelled and became pirates in order to earn a living, and by the early 19th century, pirates practically controlled the Aegean Sea. Many pirates even turned their ships against the Turkish Navy and fought for Greece during the War of Independence in the early 1800s. Pirates continued to live here with their families until 1854, when the last pirate on the island, who by then was just a retired pirate working as a baker, died of cholera. By the end of the 19th century, The development of steam engines once again put an end to the sailing center of Mykonos, and the quality of life on the island was in decline. World War II was very harsh on the remaining residents of Mykonos, and starvation was widespread here during the German occupation of the island. Fortunately, the economic life of Mykonos changed dramatically after World War II, and by the 1950s, tourism began to flourish. Today, the island is one of the world's most popular vacation spots. To continue our walk, go back to the appropriate number on your player now.